Hey guys, it's Richard with the Hunter-Gatherer Society, and today, of course, as always, we have Dozer with us here. Beautiful, beautiful day. The clouds have not quite filled in yet, so we're haven't been rained on yet. We have Tinker with us here today. Not normally on our longer treks, but today's a short one, so before it gets too hot. But just doing a little hike, really just getting the dogs out, stretch their legs. But as always, I bring a bag and you never know what you might find. And we just had some rain the last couple days, and so the mushrooms have started popping. I showed a video the other day, but I wanted to show this. I came in here. This is a nice little shaded area. There's actually a nice resting bench on the other side here. We've got our gear set up, and we're taking a little break, getting some water for the dogs. But I came through here, and I found a nice bolete mushroom. Looked all over, couldn't find any more in this leaf litter here, and so kind of just set everything up, and I thought, well, I'm going to come back and just do one more walkthrough just to see. But I'll tell you what, it is amazing. It really is the importance of stopping and looking very carefully, because it is amazing how easy. So we just walked by this. That's my second time by it. The other thing too is coming at it from different angles. So as you go, you probably can start to see them now. But I walked right by these. There's a beautiful one right there. Beautiful boletes, and there's a smaller one. He's about perfect for harvesting. See if I can get a little better angle at that one. These are just absolutely beautiful. I'm going to go ahead and pick that one out of there. We'll lift him up. So there he is. Absolutely beautiful mushroom. You can see him starting to turn blue where I bumped the outer shell there. Nice and healthy. It looks like he's free of worms. Of course, you never know until you cut them. Boletes will get worms in them, and when you slice it open, make slices like you would a normal mushroom, and you'll see the little holes in the slice, and then those I just throw away. But I have a feeling this one's going to slice up nice and clean. But this is a bolete, and the way to tell the boletes, of course, is they don't have gills. They have these pores. If you'll notice here, I'll try to zoom in, get it to focus. But you'll see there's no gills here. It's like a sponge. There's little pores. And that tells you have a bolete. Now, once you get that information, you've got a lot of work to do, because there are a lot of different kinds of boletes. But this one is edible, and I will bring some of these home for my breakfast this morning. I did find a little bit of wood sorrel earlier, just a tiny bit. If I find more, I'll bring the video back on. But I will saute that up with some Bidens, the wood sorrel, the mushrooms, and that'll make a nice little breakfast. All right, well, we're going to take 5 here in the shade, cool the dogs down, and then if we see anything fun, we'll bring it back. All right, guys, we're back on the trail. Opened up a little bit. We're out in the hot sun. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time out in here, but I did want to show you this. So all along here, you can see these little white flowers. Get down the trail. Actually, there's a bunch right here. The pollinators will be loving those. Nice plush greens on them. Go down here just a little further. Dozer's found some. Hey, bud, did you find some? Yeah, you just want that grass. But right here you can see there's quite a bit here. There's the flowers. Here's the greens that haven't flowered yet. I'll show you the leaf on this if I can. Kind of blocking the sun there. There you go. Those are Biden's alba, and they are all along this trail. And I said earlier I would cook it up with some Bidens. That is what I'm going to be cooking it up with. So these are an edible green. They grow all over. They are kind of a standard edible. They are a bit bitter. I mean, I like the flavor of them, but a lot of people consider them very strong and bitter. So it's really up to your palate, but you can eat them raw. You can put them in salads, which I often do. You can saute them up with other vegetables, which I frequently do. And but they're abundant and they're healthy and they're a good addition. Now, I'm not going to pick any today. I've got quite a bit at home, and but I did just want to show you how abundant they are along this particular trail. So we'll keep moving. Maybe as we go through here a little bit, we'll find some more interesting things. And we did find a few of the passion flowers earlier, smaller fruits, nothing to really harvest. The cocoa plums back in here aren't ready yet. We're ways away from the water. We'll check up by the water here in a little bit, but what we've found so far are not ready. Just a note too on the mushrooms we found. I showed you the first ones. We found another batch prior to that. They were very small. Actually, they were buttons, the young button mushrooms, and they were absolutely perfect for harvesting. And so we collected those. But the one thing is the oak trees, that seems to be what these boletes like here. They like I don't know if it's the shade or if it's just because of the tree. But we certainly are, you know, as I look through here, I'm looking for hardwoods. I'll probably go snoop around underneath those. As we come up this trail, you know, we'll keep an eye open. There's a couple areas that have some hardwoods. And usually what I'll do is just get up relatively close. You know, just kind of look around down in the leaf litter. You got to stop, like I said, and look very, very closely. I don't see anything in here. Dozer, you see anything in there, bud? No, he doesn't see anything in there. So on we go. But usually, as you saw with those other ones, as long as you take the time to stop and look, you know, you'll see them. But you do have to stop because it is, like I said, so easy. And sometimes just, you know, you look at them from the right and you can't see them. You look at them from the left and they're just right in front of you. And it's amazing the difference of just the angle. So anyway, we'll carry on, and if we find anything, we'll bring you back. Now again, oh, found this little, looks like somebody's little shaded sitting area. Kind of interesting. Look at that. That's a beautiful specimen. Not a wild edible, but a medicinal mushroom, especially the new growth white around the edges. That's a brand spanking new one. We're not going to harvest that today. I'll leave that for the next person that focuses on the medicinal. But pretty mushroom. We're definitely starting to see some new growth as we move through here. The rains have definitely kicked that up. Looks like there's some palmetto berries in here. These are saw palmetto. I don't know if you can see that, but you can see the little edges. And I'll tell you what, they do live up to their name. There it is. They live up to their name. They will saw your finger in a hurry. But the berries, of course, you can get the heart of palm out of those. I'm not grabbing it. I believe there are some uses for these berries. Not familiar with that, so we're going to leave that today and study it later. We'll carry on. I love these changes. You know, we just came out of an open area with a lot of palm trees, and now we're in a more shaded area. I see a lot of leaf litter. These are areas I'm really going to start paying attention to. You know, again, the leaf litter will hold the moisture, and you know, you change the type of trees you have. Oftentimes that can be a good spot to locate mushrooms. Really pay attention to the downed wood. I see an area over there I'll probably check out here in a minute, very shaded. Not sure what kind of trees those are yet, but we'll get over there and check it out. And we still got some palms, but hey, there we go. Oh, look at this. Guys, this is a beautiful little discovery. Now these are red. Very red coloring. They have yellow stems. I can see it on that small one. They're in the shade, so they're very, very healthy. Let's pick one of these up, see what we've got. I apologize for the finger there. So we've got yellow pores, blue staining. I guess they're kind of a crimson, almost a wine color. Those are a beautiful mushroom. These are the buttons I referred to earlier. This is a good one right here. But look at that. There's not going to be any worms in there. Nice and moist. That is a prime eating mushroom. There's a couple more of there. Now I'm going to pluck a few of these, and then we'll bring you back if I find anything else. All right, guys, we are back, and I wanted to show you this. I found a couple white boletes, and I didn't take a photo of them. I only found 2 small ones. But as I was walking, again, back to how easy they are to miss. These are hidden from the main trail. I just happened to catch the sight of something white that looked, out of the picture. And I'm gonna break him off. This is amazing. Look at how beautiful this mushroom is. Perfect pores. Absolutely in prime condition. These are another edible bolete. These are really a really nice find. I can't believe this. I haven't seen these in a while. And I'm sorry, guys, you know me. Most of this stuff, the mushrooms, I don't do the Latin names, and a lot of these things I can't remember. I can't remember all these Latin names. So I've identified a few mushrooms that I like to find, and later on I'll ID this and post the actual name of it. But they are edible, and I have had them before. And they're a good mushroom. So I'm going to take a couple of these home with me. That'll be dinner. I just want to share this with you. This is a really, really beautiful, beautiful mushroom find. In the thick of things. There's another one over there. One down inside there. There he is. You can barely see him. So I'll bring you back if I find anything else. Alright guys, I brought you back because this is an area here where I find a lot of wood sorrel. Different stretch, a lot more pines here, a little more grassland. We actually just chased up the deer that we had chased up earlier. Tinker says, I'm out of here, you guys. I can't do this anymore. It's getting too hot. But you'll see there's wood sorrel right through here. You can see the little yellow flowers. You can see the heart-shaped leaves. There's a bunch over here on the trail. One of my favorites, nice lemony flavor to it, mixes up in salads. And it's just all over through here. I'll harvest a little bit of this. I did want to touch base a little bit on the fact, well, something I said earlier about, not knowing the names of the mushrooms. I just want to say that nothing in our house is eaten without knowing exactly what it is. So the mushrooms that I'm hunting are ones that I've hunted before, identified before, and know that they're safe to eat. I don't use Latin names a lot. I use common names. I'm not an expert in mushroom hunting. I'm not a botanist. I'm just a guy who loves to be out here in the woods. I love to hear the birds singing, see the deer, see the different flowers, different mushrooms, different plants. I love to learn which ones are usable, edible, medicinal, and I just find it fascinating. And I really love going home, and I'll make my breakfast this morning, some fresh mushrooms and greens, and I really love that aspect of it. And so I just want to say, and don't take anything you see here home and eat it because you saw it on this video. Make sure when you pick a mushroom that you really look at it. You look at that stem, you look at the body, you smell it, maybe bite, just take a little nibble off it, spit that out, get a flavor for it. Go home, research multiple books. I have probably 7 or 8 different books that I can research. I'll use the internet. Yes, there is good information on the internet, but there's also bad information, so be cautious with that. Use good, legitimate sources. Talk to a local expert. These are all things that we do. I take classes. On the weekends, we'll do a couple-hour forage with a local expert. And so it's just really important to know what you're picking and what you're eating and how to do it. Some plants, parts of them are edible, and other parts are not. And other plants, everything's edible, so just really be cautious with that. So I just want to touch base on that. I think it's just very, very important. I can't remember all the names of this stuff, so what I've got is a dozen mushrooms or so that I know I can eat, and I just call these boletes because that's what they are. And what the common name is, I'll try to post it in videos or on photos what the actual name is so that you can look it up and research it yourself. But again, in these videos, I may often not know it, so I apologize for that, but it's just kind of the way I forage. Beautiful flowers in here as well, so we'll bring you back here in a little bit. All right, guys, we are back home. The dogs are pooped. We're all hot. Even the mushrooms got hot, but they survived the trip home. We made a heck of a nice little score here. White boletes and yellow boletes, blue staining, a little bit of wood sorrel. Like I said, I already have some greens in the refrigerator, so I'm just going to use those to mix in with the breakfast. But just a wonderful score and several days worth of mushrooms. Earlier on the trail, I talked a little bit about the fact that some of these might be wormy, and so some of them we left because of the fact that you could tell that they were wormy. But sometimes when you get them home, that's when you really can determine. And I mentioned in the video slicing them open, and then you can see, a lot of times you can see the worms. So let's take a look at these, and I'll show you what I'm talking about, see if these are clean. So we're just going to make a normal slice on these. And we're going to go right up to the stem. And then what you're doing is you're looking here, and you can see it turning blue already. But you notice there's no holes, no brown spots or anything like that in the mushroom. So there's no worms in that particular one. Now this one I know has got worms in it. So we're just going to slice this open so we can see it. And here you can see actually the lines coming in. You can see the little holes here in the mushroom. You can see the brown along the spore, or the spore area. That's wormy. You can see here there's some holes. Now one thing with this one, if I cut the other side, you can see it even more. You can see the brown streaks, and that you can see from here. You can see the holes actually right in the spore. So that one is actually not one we're going to keep. I just wanted to show you. Now I'm really optimistic that this one is going to be wonderful because it's so firm, but you never know. So let's take a look at him, and we're going to slice in. And as you can see, that is all white, just a beautiful shade of tan. No worms in there at all. This is going to be the pride and joy of this hunt. That is going to make a wonderful meal. So I just wanted to share that with you. And thanks for joining us today again, Richard with the Hunter-Gatherers Society, and the up-and-coming film star Ella on the camera, and of course Dozer and Tinker today. So we'll see you next time. Yeah, they're pooped. See you next time. All right, everybody, just bringing you back for a second. I wanted to show you the final results. This is my breakfast, breakfast, lunch, I guess. Brunch, we'll call it. Right here we've got the Smilex we harvested the other day. I've broken it down into smaller pieces. That is the wood sorrel we harvested today. And the Biden's Alba, harvested the other day. And of course, one of the mushrooms that we brought in today. So that's going to be sauteed up, some olive oil, and it'll make a wonderful brunch. Alright guys, I wanted to share the sound of the sizzle. So one thing too about these wild mushrooms, just like really any mushroom, you want to cook them really well. So on a medium heat. I'm going to saute those up first, and I'm also putting the Bidens in there, make sure that gets cooked down real good so it's nice and tender, and then I will add the others in. I'll season it up with some garlic, some salt, some onion, some pepper. I'll keep it pretty simple because this will have pretty good flavor all on its own. So again, just sharing with you. That's the last one for today. Thanks for joining us. Have a great weekend.